Welcome, my loves. Knowledge Butterfly. As always, sending you peace, blessings, love, and abundance. This will be my last video of the day, I think. But I'm gonna do a short video about everything being divine. Like, I had originally, meant to do this video, or wanted to do this video maybe like a month or two ago, but I didn't. However, I really feel like the urge to do it right now at this very moment. So everything is divine, and when I say everything, I mean everything. Everything is spiritual, everything is divine. Why is everything spiritual, nigga? Because we's a spirit. Why is everything divine? Because, it's divine because it is meant to happen in order to either teach us a lesson so we can grow from something, or in order to, bless our lives for something that we co-created or created, you know what I'm saying, through our own thought process, through our own speech, through our own heart. You know what I'm saying? So even if something, you don't like it, or you feel like right now you're not where you want to be, or you feel like your life could be better, start looking at it as divine. When you start seeing divinity in everything, and you start loving everything equally, not loving something more than the other, not thinking that this is better because it's quote unquote positive, then you start to change, like, the flow, the energy flow to yourself. You start changing your vibration. You start moving to a higher elevation, moving to a higher Taurus field. So you basically start changing your reality at that point. And that's because you're no longer dwelling on something, or no longer treating something as if it's bad. Because what happens is what people think is bad is what people tend to focus on. But when you start to focus on everything, the divinity in everything, and seeing that, okay, this was divine because this was a learning lesson. This is something I needed in order for me to stop repeating this. This is divine because had this not happened, had I not dealt with this traffic, then I wouldn't have been able to, meet this particular person. You just never know why you are quote unquote delayed. I remember this saying that said, being delayed is not being denied, something like that, to that effect. But basically, just because you're delayed doesn't mean that you're denied the thing that you want. So start looking at that delay as a blessing, that this was divinely meant to happen. This was put into my path for a reason, either to protect me, or either for me to make a really beautiful connection with a person, place, or a thing, or whatever. So the more and more we start to, like, change our perspective about what we normally feel is something that's bad, or something that is a nuisance or an inconvenience, when we start looking at it in a more of a godly manner, because God, in your God self, your higher self, doesn't see anything as good or bad, doesn't look at anything that you're going through as, something that is permanent, because everything in here is temporary, including the bodysuit that we're in. We already know it's temporary. We don't own anything. Nothing is our quote unquote property. It's something for us to basically rent while we're here. Basically, be able to enjoy it while we're here. So when you start looking at everything like it's truly a gift, this is a gift from my higher self. And then here it's like three little birds in my Bob Marley. But we got three birds. Can you really see? Because I could have recorded some of it. I might not have, because I had a glare of the sun, and so I saw more of the sun than I saw of the birds through the phone. But everything is divine, y'all. And when you start looking at it that way, you change everything around you. You start having, like, really, 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 really interesting encounters, so and also that goes to start expecting miraculous encounters. Start expecting miraculous events in your life. Start expecting for good things to happen to yourself. I remember when I worked in banking, anytime my manager at the time would call me into her office, she would be like, "Why you always look like that?" I was like, "Because I always expect the worst. That way if something good happens, it'll be a happy surprise." What kind of bullshit thinking was that? But that was why I was the way I was at that time. So start expecting for good things to happen. Start expecting for, the universe like to really show out in your life and just make people look at you, like look at the light, like look at your light and be like, I want to know that person. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what that person is doing in order to have all these good things happen to them. That is, if as long as you start to look at it, to look at your life from that perspective, that is exactly what's gonna happen. That is exactly what's gonna happen. I can't even tell you, like, the encounters that I've had lately. Like, anytime I go out somewhere where there's people, some type of good interaction always happens. Always. Like, whether somebody's like buying me groceries or somebody's offering me a ride, and in each encounter that I have, that person, will say something or show me something, a sign that goes back to my other video signs, and I see the synchronicity in it from the fact that this person worked in the Caribbean, and the Caribbean is where I am envisioning my businesses starting. And then I was doing the house sitters thing, and I had thought about, you know what, I'm done with that, which I am done with it, but I was thinking about, I'm done with that. I got what I needed out of it. But I had two people recently request me, one in Florida and then one here in Georgia. And the person that requested me in Georgia, she used to own a guest house in Barbados. So she's doing something that I'm actually envisioning myself doing, which is, owning some type of like healing spa, like B&B there or whatever. So just my perspective and knowing that every fucking encounter, everything that happens is divine. Every email, every, conversation, every bird that flies near me, every squirrel that's running around playing, the weather, everything is divine. Because in order for me to even get to where I'm going to be in the next month or two, this very moment had to happen. The conversations I had to happen. The things I went through in the past had to happen in order for me to be who I am right now at this very moment. If I hadn't went through the quote unquote bad times or hard times, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be conscious. I wouldn't have felt the need to know that there was something better if I didn't feel like there was something, if I didn't feel like that was, somewhere I didn't want to be. You know what I'm saying? So now I can see the divinity in it, because had I not went through it, I wouldn't be where I am right now. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't actually be in a happy state, no matter what my surroundings is, no matter what's going on in my life, no matter what my bank account looks like, or no matter what location I am right now. The location of something should not determine if you're going to be happy or not. Whether or not you have a significant other in your life shouldn't determine whether or not you're going to be happy. You need to be happy in self, be happy with who you are, and see the divinity in being who you are and where you are at this very moment. Love yourself, love your life, and when you do that, the life that you really want will manifest. So I really feel like that's a message from the universe that I really need to continue to vocalize or verbalize, because it keeps coming back to me. Like, miracles are about to happen. Even on Instagram, all these things about miracles and about manifestations about to happen, all of that keeps coming up in posts. Not even people I follow. Like, if I just go to the search page and you see things that are specifically for you, or you see things that other people are posting, basically, and it comes under the for you category, those are the types of things that are coming up. Gratitude, manifestation, miracles. I really feel like that shit is, so true and it's about to happen. So I'm excited and I'm expecting it. Be expecting of it. You know what I'm saying? So everything is divine, from the way you do your hair, from if you choose to put on makeup today, the clothes, the colors that you choose to wear. Like I have on this green tank top, heart chakra, so I'm all in this loving state. But and I have on my green, gold, and red with my brown for my earth. So I have my root chakra, I have my solar plexus, and I have my heart chakra. And this is also Einity when it comes to Rastafari. It's even divine, like my Facebook name is Empress Rastar. It's at Empress Rastar. And when I started getting into Rastafari, right before I went to Jamaica, I was watching all these YouTube videos. I was like, oh, they're so beautiful, like their skin, the naturalness. So, because everything is divine, I got to live in the jungle and not really have like an indoor working toilet, so I got to use the bathroom outdoors. That was divine. Then I got a real bathroom to use, but it still was with like an old building that he started doing, but it wasn't taken care of, so it wasn't the cleanest, but I still used it. I didn't complain. I just saw the divinity in it. I was just really happy to be in Jamaica. So a lot of beautiful things happened to me in Jamaica because I was so happy to be there. And so the universe reminded me, just to remember, don't let the fact that you're not in that location anymore determine how happy you are, because happiness starts within. Love starts within, so just remember that, guys. And once you get to that state of being and knowing, then everything changes around you. Your whole life will change. And, it's going to be a lot of testimonies in the next couple of months about how money came from nowhere, how businesses went from struggling to on top, how a woman wanted to have children and was told she couldn't have children, and then she done had twins, how, people were dating, had a bad history of dating, but all of a sudden found their soulmate, found somebody who matched their fly, matched your swag. You know what I'm saying? So that's because in holding your energy in the place of divinity, and in being in the know that you are following your divine path, and that it doesn't matter what something looks like on the outside, is how I keep my inside. That matters. The universe has no choice but to give you everything that matches what your vibratory state on the inside. And that's why you have to know everything is divine, my love. So on that note, I'm going to end this video. I, as always, appreciate you guys for watching it. Remember, everything is divine. Everything is divine. So don't judge yourself if you have a thought that you thought you got past. Don't judge yourself if you feel a certain way about something and you thought you had moved past that. All you do is redirect it. You deal with it, you let it go again, and you redirect it to a more positive state, and knowing that it's still divine, because it lets you know that that's something you still need to clean house on. That's all. That's it. You don't get mad because you start sweeping the floor and you're like, damn it, I thought I swept everything, and you have to go pick it, and you find dirt somewhere else. You just go sweep it up and then you throw it away and you move on with life. Do the same thing for yourself, all right? It's all divine, my loves. Peace.